Right then, V12 video, but it's not about this one, but it's related, so we stood here, but we've been a little bit greedy. We've got another one. This is not a V12 engine, it's a silly Renault Clio engine. So this engine here, another V12, I've ended up buying this from Germany. So if you watch Max's video, he stripped it down and had a look at the components and figured out what was wrong with it. But basically, this engine's out of his Q7, I think it's his daily driver. The oil pump X drive failed, which is quite a common thing on a lot of engines. But these earlier V12s, ours is the facelift, so it shouldn't be a problem. But they've got a similar problem. The X drive's failed, oil pressure drops, straight away you have problems. And I think, for watching the video a while ago when I watched the video, it had scuffed one of the cylinder bores on one and damaged a piston and maybe a rod as well. I can't remember exactly, but this engine's damaged anyway. But he got another engine and completely rebuilt it and put it in his Q7, and happy days, that's running again. But I wanted this, he was going to keep it himself, but I wanted it to, really, the main purpose of this video is going to be taking this engine over to Luke at DPUK, which, if I take it today, that means I've seen his ugly mug 2 days in a row, because he were here yesterday dropping off one of his lads' cars for some paint work, and it just timed wrongly, otherwise I'd have brought it back for him and done whatever, but it hasn't worked out. But this has just arrived, and it looks like it fits on this pallet quite nicely, but how it arrived, it was a little bit squashed, and it's broken a few bits. The EGR's broken, which luckily I'm not really bothered about that. But yeah, it wasn't even strapped onto the pallet. I have no idea how it got here because it was laid down. No idea how it got here. I won't say one piece because there's a few little bits broken, but it's here. We've got everything. We've got the turbos and everything. So we've got all that stuff, super complicated feed and return arrangements. But these are basically two GTB 2260s, so these will be going off for hybridising or hybriding or whatever you want to call it into 28s if possible, if there's enough room inside the housings. So that should be pretty good. And I know Max and a few of his friends, they've got V12s. It's a little niche in a niche in a niche. And I think a few of those are wanting some big turbos and stuff, but I'm still waiting on pricing and doing quite a few of them. But we'll shoot through to York and we'll pick this up with Luke and have a discussion about what we wanted to do and how we wanted to do it, and maybe get a bit more of an insight into what the project's going to turn into if we have our own way. 45 minutes-ish.
Continue straight. You have arrived.
It's an old crap Mercs. Dad goes to sleep. Dyno. That's familiar.
So yeah, this one basically with the first one, think about sort of 50 grand, maybe something like that. And then obviously you got all your tooling on top. You might spend another 10, 15 on body shoulders and tooling. Obviously, because we didn't have any machines at all, we had to buy all that from scratch. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, these vices are not cheap when we start.
No, they're not. These ones are really good. These are WNT vices, and they're a 5-axis vice. Yeah. So we put them in our 4th-axis and stuff, and you can hold things on the side.
Because they're really small, innit, for what they've got loads of clamping force.
Yes, and they've got teeth, so when you're doing a first stop on something that doesn't matter about being damaged, you can really wind it up tight and hit it hard. But like on that big, they're about £1 a piece. On that big digger over there.
Just that hunk of metal's not cheap, is it? Never mind.
No, I know. Yeah. Next batch of flywheels, then. Yeah. So this next one we got, and then this one has got an enclosed tool changer. Well,
it's out of
the actual bodies. They can't get any swarf on them, so you're never having to worry about cleaning them off. This is called an HD, and they're they've got linear boxway guides, which are really light.
So there's no slop anywhere in anything?
Yeah, well, they're adjustable over time, but they don't have bearings that can collapse.
Yeah.
So they're like a really heavy duty machine.
Yeah.
Because we were doing a lot of them steel manifolds, and we wanted to do them fast. We were hitting them with like loads of power. I think that one, from memory, is about 16 horsepower, and I think this one's about 35 horsepower, something like that. Yeah. And then that one at the end is exactly the same as this one. It's just got blue spindle coolant.
Yeah. So you're doing deep blind holes and stuff like that.
We're doing like flywheels and anything which has a pocket. It's kind of almost like steam cleaning that swarf and shite out of it.
So it's more expensive, but you'll save that on tools very quickly.
Yeah. It's very good for saving the tools. But it comes in useful for loads of other bits. You know, like if I've got a broken pump body or something like that, we can. I mean, it's not cost effective, and now we tend to use that oldest one at the end for bits and bats. Whereas these two are just like
busy doing production
all the time.
Sweet. So that's second to last stop.
Yes.
Yeah. And that's they're finished.
Yeah. This was just a smaller batch. This is a batch of 7 that we just squeezed in. So pumps obviously is the main part of the business, because like you have ECU tuning and stuff.
Yeah.
Whereas with me it's mechanical injection.
This is your laptop in here.
It is basically. Yeah. So these are the kind of thing, and this is. And I'll just pull one out. So I pull a nice one out. They're all nice.
They're all nice. Pull the nicest nice one.
So like this one, obviously, and all these components are 1980s bits that we're replating, and all the bolts are getting replaced and everything, and the bearings and the seals. The pumps all come with a lifetime warranty on them as well.
Right.
And the simple fact for that is they're pretty bomb-proof. You know, other people in the market were given a lifetime warranty, and at first I thought, oof, risky business that.
And then when
in reality, when you know about them,
when you run it, what these run it pressure-wise, like a couple 100 bar.
150 bar the injectors. Yeah, so not a lot, and then the feed pressure into them's about a bar between 1 and 2. So no, they're not doing a great deal, and they're a 11 kilo, piece. So
So what sort of money's like the top?
Top of the range. So the top of the range is that, like that one there, for example. Oh, that one. Well, there's quite a few 8.5s, but say that one there, 8.5 mil elements in that one, and that is. Let me think now. 1,295, I think.
And that's outright, or do you have to?
Plus that, and that is outright. Yeah. That's outright.
But that's literally. Without that part, these engines are just 150 horsepower bag of crap.
Well, yeah. If you, what a lot of people used to do is they'd buy a stock mechanical pump, just a totally piece of right. Yeah. So they'd buy like an old car, and they'd bang them straight on. But these things, from the factory, they only do 35cc of fuel.
Yeah.
And obviously, them ones in there 210cc, and you realistically want 120 and up to be really doing anything. And there's so many different variations of bodies.
There's a lot of stuff to go wrong in these type of pumps that a couple of little specks of crap inside, and then they just don't work, do they?
Everything's got to be like clinically clean, and to do the bodies, the way that they look with this like nice finish, we've got a ceramic, like a wet blaster that does ceramic
like
bead.
An aqua blast.
And there's no other way that we can really get that finish.
They come up mint then, don't they?
Yeah.
And I'm assuming that's one that got done before you had the newer machine.
Yeah, so that's a pump that was the first 8.5, so that's about 5 year old.
Yeah.
And that one was just literally, I think, washed. I don't think that was even blasted.
Still looks good, but they're next.
That's they do. Yeah, they are a lot better. It's a lot more effort, but it's. The point is, it's such a the pump market for whatever reason is so. What's the word? It's like really controversial. Everybody's
always mentioning each other. It's like you've got a massive rivalry, even if you probably haven't.
Yeah, so what I've done is I've literally taken every single piece I possibly can in that injector pump, and made it as good as I possibly can, so that no one can have a pop and say, is this better than his and all that.
The product then becomes expensive, but
it does.
But if it's the best, it's
I'd
the best.
rather they didn't buy it than say my stuff were no good.
Yeah, definitely.
So.
That's how it should be.
Yeah.
Sweet. Well, this is all stuff that we're going to go in scrapyards until people like you started buying them, all these old test benches and stuff.
Yeah, well, this one here, we're just in the process of putting new test injectors into it, but this, because we always run one and then have another and then we go back and forth. This one's 1976, and that one in there is 1977.
Yeah, so they're all...
yeah, they're old.
Older than us.
I've got another, well, I say I've got another two, I've got another one, I sold one over the weekend for a 1960s one.
Right.
Well, they're great because, again, just like the pumps, they're mechanical.
Yeah. There's no electronics that somebody needs to come and check work properly.
The only thing I've had to do is change the counter on the front here. So originally they have a big round clock dial, and they have a real old school sort of very simple circuitry that counts. Basically, as soon as you press go, it counts 100 revolutions of like pouring the fuel in. Yeah. And then at 100 revolutions, it cuts off and it stops. Yeah, well, that's when it like does 100 and then stops. And they're funny them. Everybody thinks that they're rubber. It's a common comment. Like people go, your pump's not, your bench ain't going to be working properly because it's insulated. Keep the heating. But so that we put more modern counters on them to make that a bit more accurate. But apart from that, you know, they're pretty bomb-proof. When you look inside them, it's all belts and pulleys and all sorts of things. And then if you ever wonder, if you ever come across one of these, which you probably never will, that wheel on there, that is what says your date on there. So that one will say 1977 or whatever it says. That's how you identify your heart rate.
This one in England made all the best stuff. These sort of era, when every bit of manufacturing equipment went all over the world were made in England.
Yeah, cartridge still exists. You can still buy them. You can buy a new one of these. I think they call it an AVM2, and they're about 70 grand. So that's the LS bell housing for this.
So you'll make an adapter from that, or would you make it from the bell
I've already got all that programmed. But this is a brand new T56 Magnum.
So what did you buy this for then?
Originally I was going to put it in the 52 GMC, but because I decided to get rid of the Charger, I've got the 4L80. That thing's built for 1500 real horsepower. That's a $20,000 box then. And it's got like all sorts of fancy bits and pieces in it.
That's all the big drag races use then, isn't it?
Yeah. And yes, it's full manual valve body. Yeah. Absolutely amazing behind a 606 that. Yeah. Really good.
I'll talk to John Sleep and he said if you break that,
you might have to go with that.
Yeah, so they fit very similar to these, don't they? Like
they'd be from the same car. Yeah. So like if you, like a highly powered Camaro, whatever, would have that or that generally. Yeah. Maybe a 4L60, which is very similar to that, which is weaker. But T56 Magnum, and they do a couple of different variations of it. This one is the Chevrolet variation. So they do one that has an input shaft for the Ford.
But they're just process splines.
I think so. The spigot's different. It's a little bit shorter shaft, I think. But I've got the hydraulic release bearing for an heavy duty release bearing system and all the rest of it. So what kind of like torque were you wanting to?
1500 foot bar.
Right. All right. So I don't know. I was wondering what kind of clutch you were thinking. Sax race or?
I think we'll try. I don't know if you've got any or if we need to get a twin plate sax race stuff. I think we'll try that.
So like what? Like a heavy duty type cover that we'd normally use, and then two plates, or an actual dedicated twin plate sax?
We'll see what options. I think. Yeah. I think I'd like to get. What's always worked for us in the past, we use a spec triples.
Oh yeah.
They work. But whether
what size are they? Are they just
4 1/4? Yeah. Something like that.
Yeah. It's quite a lot smaller, but I know that we can do a twin with 240mm discs.
All right, yeah.
It can be done.
Yeah.
Are you going to be driving it on road at all? Or?
It will get used on road, but it's going to be more.
I'm just thinking, obviously, sprung drive plates are nice to drive, but you can't stack them very easy because they're thick, and you end up running out of spline.
Yeah.
So it'll just be a kit. But we
Let's
can
see
work
what
all
options.
that.
Yeah. See what options and just work it through. See, that'd be the ultimate if we didn't have to use a Sachs, because the Sachs twin plate stuff's like ridiculous money in it. I know it's quite expensive.
That Sachs cover that I use, I've tested it to, what's it now, 1200 newton meters,
right,
without any slippage, and that's on an organic disc.
Right.
So
it's strong.
And I mean, you've seen how we're abusing that as well.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not the same, but
it's gonna take
so
some.
If you probably twinned that up, it'd be mega.
Yeah.
But again, we can actually do some proper calculation rather than guessing. But
it don't want to be done twice if we can help it.
No.
But that sounds like a good idea.
No, that's fine. So yeah,
show me some of your adapters then, and we'll.
Yeah, not a problem. Yeah, so that's it. I don't know what's in that bag.
Just packaging.
I think it is. Yeah. Probably have a leaf bearing in it. Maybe.
Yeah.
Could do you a nice billet shifter as well for that.
Scott said he wants to go sequential.
So change the top.
Maybe, yeah. Maybe. I know they're money as well, though.
They are money, yeah.
That's the cover that we'd be potentially running.
Yeah, so that's 765 that we use in most of our kits.
What's that originally used in? Roughly,
that would normally be used in a BMW E34 M5, so old school.
Yeah, they were known to have a strong push anyway.
They were, and they didn't even make that much power. No. It makes no sense why they made this clutch.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're known for being super strong. They are really expensive cover as far as a normal looking cover goes, but they absolutely kick ass. You know, they're brilliant.
You've measured what?
Oh yeah, it's mega. Like,
so how stiff that is not representative of how stiff it actually.
No. The whole pivot and everything is the ratio's fantastic, as well as it being a strong spring. They are epic. If you don't have any kind of like clutch booster, they're a bit. You need like Terminator's leg.
Yeah.
So there's a couple of adapters laid out there. So we've got, this is the one for the Patrol.
Yeah.
So in that Patrol that you went in yesterday, sprung organic drive plate. Obviously, two-piece flywheel aluminium with like a bolted on face.
So why are you doing it like that then, rather than just a full steel?
Because it's size. Yeah. We did used to do them steel, and it made the old system quite smooth. But we had that many complaints of the flywheel being heavy. Yeah. There were nothing
for no
wrong.
Reason other than why is it heavy?
Yes, and the mate said that it were no good to have a heavy flywheel. I thought, all right, well, I'll make it lighter then if that's what people want. And to be honest, it did us big favours, because as far as sending that to America goes,
it saved you money.
Yeah, it's
and aluminium. Easier to machine and stuff like that.
It's easier to machine. And also another little benefit that wasn't really intentional, having the pockets in it has kind of made it have a bit more bite. Right. So that wasn't even like an intentional thing, but it's kind of like having a tread almost.
Yeah, like a drilled disc that's just going to take edges off basically.
Yeah. So these obviously we're making now, so you've just seen that. And then we've just put the details for the torque settings in there. Just put the detail on there. And then we do different spigot bearings for like obviously different applications. You can see there two totally different flywheels for different things.
Yeah, sweet.
Just mix them up. The customer will get the wrong thing. And then so if you've got a transmission that can't have a thick adapter, for whatever reason, like the input shaft might be short or whatever, then the steel ones are for the thinner options.
You probably can't see.
It's probably like, the steel ones are for like the ones where we can't have a thick one.
So this is L200, so what's this? L200 gearbox.
Mitsubishi 6-speed L200, so like a 53 plate.
To obviously a 606 engine.
Yes, normally we'd put a 605 in L200 because it's quite a short engine bay. Same with like a Hilux. Hilux is quite short and all.
That's why they got 4 cylinders from factory, because the 6 is not an easy fit.
No, it's lots of people try and it just ends up in a
that's a Patrol.
OM648, so the common rail engines. Isuzu, and then we've got Land Rovers. We do 4 different types of Land Rover adapter plates. Toyota, we do 2 different Toyota ones. So we've got obviously the 4-cylinder and the V6. Chevy adapter plates for like the T56 and then all the auto boxes. and then we got various BMWs. There's quite a few.
So these ones have to be thinned because of input shaft that you're on about.
Yeah. The BMW suit a thinner plate. Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, so quite a variety. Yeah.
But I think this is obviously where the starter motor goes. I've not got the starter or the like flex plate. Do you want me to get one of them?
Yeah.
One of them.
Yeah. I just need it for the clearances and things.
Yes. I didn't know if, obviously it's only just come, but I didn't know if the gearbox had the starter on like a VAG where it.
No. I know what you mean, but no. I always try and use the starter off the original engine because
it makes more sense.
Yeah, if you've ever got any problems, you just order it to the regular chassis number of the engine.
Well, it's gonna fit because it's.
I can't believe how small that.
Yeah, it's not a big starter.
No,
it's not a big starter.
No.
But you've got 2 fuel pumps, one either side.
Yeah.
But it weren't even strapped at pallet this when it got delivered. It was just laid on a pallet.
Really?
So I don't know how it's even got here. But yeah,
it's a strange looking thing, isn't it?
Yeah. But I'm assuming that you can. It's still some use here to get your.
Oh god, yeah.
In it, and then I'll get them. I'm get a starter and a flex plate for probably cost another couple £100 or something.
Do you have any idea how long it is?
What's that? 600 mil at least. That in it.
I'm just wondering whether I can get it in the machine upright. It makes measuring easy for me. That's
it should be dry this, but tip it up to check. It's been.
I'll pull bung out.
It's been completely stripped down.
Oh, is it?
And put back together to sell to me. So.
Oh.
It should.
Good luck with that one.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but you're just using this as a dummy?
Pretty much, yeah.
Because you've got the other one, haven't you?
Yeah, the car's still fully running. That's why I thought it makes more sense then if you're wanting to see how it all works and see how it all needs to be done. It doesn't matter if you get any in it and stuff like that. Then.
Do you have any idea what it weighs?
Can weigh it, can't we?
I've got scales there.
Yeah. Keeps following me. Oh! You need a smoother entrance.
Right then, what are you guessing? We don't weigh stuff without a guess.
Oh, what are we saying? It's gotta be 500 kilos, hasn't it?
Well, a 606 is 250 dry, 300 with everything on it.
Yeah.
I would say
it's missing turbos.
Is it steel? Yeah, steel block.
Steel block. Aluminium head, aluminium block. The block's only quite short, really, isn't it?
It is, yeah. I'm going to go with, this might be, I'm going to go with 350, including the pallet.
350 including pallet?
Yeah.
I think 500 including pallet. No way. Well,
that is light, isn't it?
That is silly light.
Wow. So, yeah, and
the only thing
25, so
it's probably 50 kilos with the stuff missing on it at most.
And there's no oil in it.
Yeah. It probably takes 20 litres of oil.
I mean, realistically, though,
it's not
you know, have a very powerful power plant that's only 300 kilos.
Yeah.
It's impressive. Yeah. Very impressive. No flywheel.
Yeah.
Things like that.
I've got a dog sniffing my leg. So. We've got the V12.
Yeah.
It's lighter than we expected.
Yeah.
But it's not smaller.
No.
We need to get the starter motor and the flex plate to get the teeth and everything right on the flywheel.
Yeah.
You're going to come up with some ideas for the flywheel adapter.
Yeah.
It's going to be a chicken and egg situation where we do one thing and it creates another.
What I'll do is I'll get the box, the T56 Magnum. We'll put it into the spigot and then see what we're left with.
Yeah.
You know, if we can put the spigot shaft of the gearbox straight into the crank in the bush, that's great. Because obviously the shorter the better.
Yeah.
But I don't. Do you have any limitations with what you can and can't do with the vehicle?
I think make it as short as we can.
Yeah.
And we'll make it work then.
Yeah, that's fine.
Obviously the shifters, from what I've looked at, you can have multiple anywhere.
That one has 2, I think, as standard.
Yeah, but you can buy a little, pull it right back or push again.
Yeah, you can.
So swing. So I think this video might end here, or it might not, but if it doesn't end here, it'll end with Luke's up, we're going to do a little bit of a video, a bit of CAD work and send it me.
Yeah.
And then
I'll do you some nice bits.
See you in a bit.
that's obviously the Chevy side.
Yeah.
And then this side goes onto the engine.
Nice.
And I've got a canvas of the engine itself. So if I show you how it sits on, you can see it lines up really nicely with the profile of the engine. So it follows exactly the same. And I've also, one, to save a bit of weight, and two, you know, to make it match the engine.
Do it show like I know we're only early stages with the clutch, but
yeah. So that's a cutaway. I'll show you the actual thing. It's quite compact. So we're using the same friction discs that we normally use.
Yeah.
But it's all. Hang on 1 second.
So yeah, I know that these can singularly handle over 1,000 Newton meters quite easily. So double's going to be essentially 2,000.
Yeah, in theory, and we've got plenty of spline on there as well, which you wouldn't normally get.
No, you wouldn't get with a normal twin.
So they're very chunky discs.
Nice.
So that combined with our friction plate, with the pressure plate,
Awesome.
should work well.
Right, just need to order some material.